What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I'm going to do a couple different things. One of which is elaborate on yesterday's video about Tempe. They are leasing 160,000 as far as square foot facility. I'm going to talk about what that possibly could be and updates in that regard. And finally, Lucid's bankruptcy. Are they going to be filing bankruptcy? I'm going to be talking about all of that. Before I get into any of that though, making sure you guys hit that thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. If you like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. One final thing I just want to share with you, it's a massive promo only until June the 30th. If you click on the link in the description below, sign up, just deposit only $1, you get 6 free stocks. Take advantage of this, link is in the description below. But with that, let's get right to it. So first and foremost though, funny thing came out today. Elon says that Lucid and Rivian are on track towards bankruptcy. Absolutely hilarious. There should be something wrong or some SEC or anything going against Elon about this, because definitely there is no credibility whatsoever. Even more so looking at the basic balance sheet, Lucid does have $5.39 billion in cash equivalents and short-term investments. Absolutely by no means is it on the verge of bankruptcy. If anything, we are just establishing ourselves more and more. We're getting our production down. Right now it's just rumors, give or take, but roughly those rumors are setting us at around 20% of a month-over-month increase on production. So clearly we're getting our only issue, which is production, down packed. And looking as well, total debt $2.2 billion. Of that $2 billion is low-cost finance up until 2026 at 1.25% interest rate. Hands down, this is a complete lie. Lucid is not going to file bankruptcy, and even worst-case scenario, by the tail end of 2023, which is when our cash is going to run out, hypothetically, worst case scenario, the PIF is going to support us. We have Big Brother behind us and they're not going to let us fail. We are part of their 2030 plan. So going back to this, I find this absolutely hilarious. Hopefully you guys had a pretty good laugh about this. But getting back to it though, I did post this yesterday. News did come out about them leasing that 160,000 square foot facility in Tempe. So definitely is very beneficial, but right now there is no word as far as what that actually is. I still hypothetically do believe it is for their in-house cell production, because in March they did say in an interview that most likely they are going to be doing a in-house cell production because of their agreement with LG being terminated by 2030. And as far as I've read, it's not being extended as of right now. So most likely that's what I'm assuming, especially considering as well, if you do look here, they are hiring for a lot of positions, all for Tempe. So they're going through a massive hiring spree, and it doesn't necessarily look like as far as operational or assembly line kind of stuff. First shift, second shift, and also quality and things like that. But it does, in my opinion, how I see this and how I read this, it does look like a little bit more of a cell production, or at least that kind of component. Might be wrong. Let me know in the comments below what you think about that. But again, I tie this back to Elon. So the fact that Elon is saying that we're going into bankruptcy, I find that absolutely hilarious. And the negative thing about this is when news comes out about this, a lot of other manipulation just takes hold of this and tries to bring down Lucid. I'm just going to show you this because over the last several days, Lucid's actually outperformed any other growth stock out there. Despite the massive red days, shorts were closing out the positions. But guess what? Because of Elon now being able to put in that fear out there about Lucid, it does show that shorts are actually increasing 0.61% of their position today. Works out to be 1.57 million shares that they did increase despite cost to borrow going up. And I've always said, I'm sure you guys are aware, cost to borrow and short interest are fairly inverse. So cost to borrow is actually going up 16.35%, which in theory should cause short interest to go down. But unfortunately, because of good old Elon, there's a little bit more fear out in the market. And in addition to that, just want to show you one brief thing on Interactive Brokers. Interesting news did come out. So I'm just going to show you this. I do have a link to Interactive Brokers in the link in the description below, but I found this very interesting. 10 worst stocks to buy during a recession. Unfortunately, it doesn't really elaborate on anything. It mostly talks on CPI data, interest rates, and things like that, but it goes to show right here, completely random. And unfortunately, I have some issue with Bazinga, and their articles more specifically about Lucid recently have been complete BS. So I think today is just a little bit more of a bad day with Elon and now this, because if you look, American Airlines, Lucid, Freeport, Chevron, Halliburton, Boeing, Baker Hughes, Lukenberg, if I said that right, American Electric, and also Carnival. So yes, I agree with Carnival and some others, but at the end of the day, why Lucid? That's completely random, 100%. So the fact is, I think that Bazinga has some kind of alternate benefit to this about Lucid going down. Maybe they are shorting them, or some people are shorting them, or maybe they're just pro-Tesla. I'm not really familiar with Bazinga and their kind of history, but let me know in the comments below what you think about that. But getting back to it though, those are two factors, pretty hilarious in my opinion, that is causing a little bit more volatility, because we have had fairly strong opening today. I'm just going to look at some of the technicals. Looking on the actual chart, I do have the 50, 100, 200-day moving averages, Bollinger Bands, RSI, stochastic, and momentum. Right now on stochastic, we are extremely oversold, so this is one of the reasons that we did bounce back a little bit today, but we still do have that red line above the black showing a little bit more of a bearish sentiment still. Momentum is going up, so number of buyers definitely were getting in today. RSI was up as well, so 41, and on the actual chart we were outside the Bollinger Band, but again, in previous videos I always say this all the time, 9 times out of 10, unless there's some justifiable cause to keep us outside the Bollinger Band, we do bounce back in. So this was today another typical thing that does happen. And so in addition to that though, I have been noticing something very abnormal. So as you can tell at the bottom, I do have that live ticker going. Unfortunately, the market is closed as of right now, but we did close up 1.78%, 15.3 million as far as volume, 29.2, that is the average, 6-month average, and 1.48 million shares being purchased by institutions and hedge funds just today alone. And that is on the secondary market. But I have been really monitoring the dark pool and the activity behind the scenes. So looking right here, you can see there has been a lot of big orders today. So 910,000, 534, 418, and 451,000. That's just today alone. Even looking more so at yesterday, the day before, a lot of big money has been buying Lucid behind the scenes, insinuating that there is a huge substantial value in Lucid. So don't believe everything that you read about Elon saying that we are going to go bankrupt, because that is completely wrong. We do have a very good balance sheet in my opinion, and obviously by 2023, that's what they've said over the last several earnings call, that's when we will need more additional funding or whatever it might be. But I think that PIF, the big brother behind us, they're definitely going to be supporting us every step of the way. But with all that, keep in mind though, I am not a financial advisor. This is only for entertainment purposes, and at the end, I hope you're entertained by this, especially by what Elon said as well. But with all that, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. If you like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that said, appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.